Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone.
Yes, hello.
I'm not sure if the voice is clear. Is the voice is clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mejdal Alqahtani. Today, I will present a topic related to the power of AI in improving the quality of recruitment process. Okay, so let's start. Like a little background about me. I have more than 20 years experience in the field of data science. Okay, and also I have a PhD and 2 master degree from Rutgers University in United States. I have a PhD in the industrial system engineering, and my work or my research was related to develop quality monitoring techniques and methods to or based on AI to do like quality control and quality monitoring. So we are using the tools of AI to improve the quality of production. And also I have 2 master degree, one in quality and reliability engineering, the other one in statistics with a specialization in data mining. And also I published different research papers in the engineering and data science journals. And also I'm certified as a senior data scientist trainer from Kaplan Higher Education Academy. And also, I'm currently assistant professor at the Department of Industrial Engineering at King Saud University. So here is the workflow of my presentation. I will start at the beginning, an introduction to AI, and then we will take a little bit about human resources. What does it mean? How it's important in any organization. And also we are going to cover the recruitment process, which is one role under the human resource umbrella. Okay. And also we are going to discuss about the application of AI in recruitment process. Also, what are the benefits of AI in the recruitment process? Also the challenge of applying AI in the recruitment process, okay, and some use cases, and we will end up with some conclusion and to conclude our topic and see some recommendation. Okay, and by the way, if you have any question, you are free to ask me anytime. Okay, now let's start with the introduction to AI. Okay, so like when we talk about the AI on the introduction about the AI, we have to start from the history of AI. So as we said, there are 3 key dates for the AI. So it's 1960, where was the introduction of the AI at the beginning. And 20 years later, there was an introduction of another term called machine learning. And this was in 1980. And 30 years later, specifically in 2010, there was an introduction of two terminology, which is related to the deep learning and data science. Okay, so we have 3 dates: 1960, which is related to AI; 1980 is related to the machine learning; and 2010, which is 10 years from now, 10 years ago. So there was an introduction of deep learning and data science. So if we look at this picture, as you can see here, we have here, so it's, by the way, this picture is from Google Ngrams, which represent the word frequency in the books from 1940 up until now. So as we can see, yes, if you can see here. So you can see here we have 1960, where was the introduction of The green, as you can see, the green line, which is related to the AI, artificial intelligence. And then 20 years later, there was introduction of the red line, which is related to the machine learning. Okay. And 30 years later, specifically in 2010, there was an introduction of two terminologies: deep learning, as you can start to increase exponentially since 2010, and also we have the data science, which also it's increased, start to increase in from 2010. So this is the history of AI, and this is the three key dates about the introduction of all those four main terminology. Okay, so here, as we can see here, so what is the definition of AI? So by the way, anyone can answer my question. What is when someone asks you about the AI, can someone help me to answer this question? Okay, when the AI, the artificial intelligence. So usually when we see about artificial, what is the keyword that we use to define the artificial intelligence?
Simulate humans' brain.
Okay, exactly. So this is exactly. So when try to, so the goal of the AI is to create a system or a smart system, okay, that stimulate a human thinking to perform a complex task. So we have here two keywords: stimulate or simulate. Okay, so we try to build a system that simulate, mimic, okay, the human thinking, human behavior to perform or accomplish a specific or complex task. Okay, this is the definition of the artificial intelligence. So we are trying to make how the human think, and we try to build a machine that is able to mimic such a behavior. Okay, and there has been enormous data growth in commercial and scientific field. Why this happening? Because there are advances in data generation and collection technology. So we have advances, because nowadays it's not difficult to get data or to acquire data, because it's very cheap. So you can get data from from different type of sensing or from different type of technology, and you can get different type of data. You can take image data, sequential data, you can take text data, like text or spoken text. So all of this is a speech. So all of this is kind of data can be extracted and can be obtained and stored in your database. So the difficult thing is there is no difficulty in acquiring data or getting data. So the most difficult task is what is how, once we have such a data, how can we analyze that data? How can we make sense of that data? How can we get some insight, some is it the data is able to solve our problem? So we need to do data analysis. We need to extract the important feature and try to do featuring and build a model and do model validation. And by the end, we need to communicate our result with the decision maker and to convince them about the solution of the problem that you defined from the beginning. So here is an example of the AI-based application. We can see application in the cybersecurity, okay, where where the intruder can be identified and detected. Okay. Also, we have application related to the traffic pattern, like when this is a good example of Google Map. So they greatly use the AI to estimate the traffic. Okay, and also in the e-commerce, so where they use where there are different applications there, you can do recommendation system where the Amazon and other online market they are using those AI-based tool. And also we can use anomaly detection for like if we have fraud detection using, and also can be we can use the AI to identify fraud transaction. Okay, and also we have the social media, Twitter. So they are using also different tools of AI to improve their or to attract more users to join with them and benefit from the tools or the information that provided to them. So this is like just examples where AI can be applied in many domains. So it's a great tool. It's a trending not in the Middle East but in all over the world. So the goal here, how can we utilize such a tool to solve our real life problem? So we need those tools to make our life easier. Okay, so this is very important tool, and we need to realize it, and we need to know how can be used and which problem can be applied. Okay, so as you can see here, also we should notice that there are a huge increase in the data volume today. So what do we mean about the data volume? So we mean like when we collect all data in the world and we aggregate them in one statistic, this can be shown here. This is, by the way, this figure is from Stata 2022. So as you can see, in 2010, we have two, as we can see here, I'm not sure this, I can, yeah, here. So as you can see here, in 2010, we have two zettabyte. Okay, what do you mean zettabyte? This is the type of zettabyte. So this is the zettabyte, like you can see, we have 21 zeros. So the zettabyte is 1,000 of extra byte, and 1,000 of extra byte is 1,000 of petabyte, and 1,000 of petabyte is give you 1,000 of terabyte. 1,000 of terabyte give you 1,000 of gigabyte, and this is, you said, is a huge amount of data. So this is in 2010. So in 2011, the number is increased to 5, and then 6.5, and then they start to increase. As you can see, start to increase like a little bit, and then once we are on the 2002, so you can see here we have the 64.2. So as compared with the 2010, it's a huge increase. And then as you can see, this is 2002, and now we are in 2021. And tomorrow, yesterday we were in 2021. Today we are on the 2022. As you can see, they are expecting a huge increase in the data volume. And as you can see, by the end of the 2025, there will be a large amount of data, is around 181 zettabyte. So it's a huge number of data. And the goal here, this is like we need to try to see. So we have such a big data. Okay, we need to try to develop the right tool, the appropriate tool to analyze those data and define a real life problem, and try to customize the artificial intelligence tools to solve those problems. Okay, so here, so after we give an idea or brief background about the artificial intelligence and the application of artificial intelligence and why the artificial intelligence is a great tool nowadays. So now we are going to go to the human resources. So the human resources are going to give some feedback or some background about the human resources. So here we can see the HR, which is referred to human resources, play a key role in helping companies deal with different things. One of them is fast changing business environment, okay, and great demand for quality employees. So as you can see, the HR is very important department, like in any company, even with the startup company. So they try to establish such a department to make sure to hire the right people to the right position, okay, and make sure they try to also evaluate and assess each employee to make sure their performance match what the company expected, okay. And So, and this is why this, yes, this this department is very crucial in any company. So what is the human resources? The HR is the division of a business that is charged with finding, screening, recruiting, training, job applicant. Okay, all of these tasks can be done under the HR department. Also, they try to find the right people, also screening them. Okay, screening meaning that we are trying to find the right people to the right to identify the talented people. Also recruiting them. After the recruiting, they have to be explored to some training to make sure they are trained well for their job. So also they are charged with administrating employee benefit program. So they have to set up some reward for each employee to make sure this employee, like if he did a good thing, so they will count it for him, and by the end of the year they will give him a reward. So by next year, so he will get more motivated. He got more motivated to perform better and contribute more to the company. So, so this is one of the main tasks that the HR they are trying to accomplish. Also, the HR department is tasked with maximizing the employee productivity. They try to see all the employee, all the department from in the company. They try to maximize their productivity, make sure they are performing well. Also, protecting the company from any issue that may arise within the workforce. When anyone has an issue, has a like in his contract, in his insurance, whatever, and he want more training, they have to need to talk to him, try to satisfy his queries. Also here, as we can see here, there are 7 main functions for HR. So starting from recruiting and selecting, okay, so recruiting the right people, and after like a very accurate selection process, and the performance management, they try to make sure that the performance of each employee, also the learning and development, which is very important rules in HR. So to make sure all the employee, they are well trained and will develop for their attached task. Okay, and also for the succession planning, meaning that the company needs to be succeed. Okay, what do you mean? They need to make sure all the function is run smoothly. So whenever a senior, like a senior director or a senior manager, he decide to quit or he find another job, they try to convince him to stay, even give him more reward, increase his reward or his salary. Or if he decide to go or to leave the company, they have to at least have a short list of people who's very similar to that guy, so they can hire him fast. So the company needs to have a plan B all the time. So they don't need to be like they got shot and they do nothing. So because those, especially for this sensitive position, they try to have a succeed plan. Okay. Also, we have the compensation and benefit. This is what we talk about, the compensation. Whenever they have a new applicant, they need to estimate the right salary for him, what the compensation they will offer to him, how can we convince him to join the company, okay? And also the benefit from 1 year to another, okay? And this is for new employee, new and existing employee. Also the HR information system. So they have all, we call it the HR management. So they have a management system. They can track everything. They have and assess everything. So it is related or is connected to some key indicator performance, which is referred to the KPIs. And this is indicate the performance of the HR department. Also, we have the HR data analytics, which is a new section the company start to know the importance of the data. So they try to divide a system or a rule for such a data or for such a job. So, and we called it the HR data analytics, where the goal is to analyze the data and try to have some insight out of this data. So this is the civil role for HR. Okay. So as we can see here, one of the main role here is the recruitment and selection. So this is mainly, we are going to focus on that role in the next slide. So it's called the recruitment process, the RB. Okay, the recruitment process, the definition of that is the step to select a new employee to fill an opening in an organization. Okay, so we have an opening and we need to fill that opening with the right candidate. Okay, what are the key elements in the recruitment process? So first of all, we have an opening comes from a specific department in the company. They need to hire that guy, and where the job description, they attach it to the opening. So this is a job description, and they try to make sure this guy is, we are looking for that guy has this kind of experience and we are this kind of certificate. Please find out such a person. Okay, and then they start. The second step is the talent search. They try to find the people who is fit with the job description, and then they are doing screening and shortlisting. They try to minimize the number of selection, and then interviewing. And after they do the interview, later on they are going to do evaluation and employment offer. After the interview, they try to somehow minimize the number of applicants. At the beginning, there is a huge number of applicants, and then they try to do it shortlist. They try to do screening and shortlist, and then interviewing, and then by the end, it's gonna find the appropriate person for that opening or the job they offer from the beginning. Okay, so now we have an idea about the AI. Also, we have the idea about the HR and specifically for the recruitment process. Okay, so what are the application of AI in recruitment process? Why the AI can be important for the recruitment process? Okay, so what is the AI for recruitment? Aims to automate low-level tasks. Okay, this is one part or one important task. Also provide the decision maker with more detailed information. Okay, they try to give some insight about the data they obtain. Also reduce the operational cost. So usually, where AI can be applied, okay, we are trying to see a process, and this process can be defined as a repetitive process. So it's consuming a lot of time and a lot of many employees. So how can we substitute the AI with or to fit in or to substitute those people who consider like who has a high cost in the company. So we try to find the appropriate the AI technology or the AI powered solution that is able to substitute those human and perform as it's close to them or sometimes better than them. Okay, so it was a big task, but it's very important steps of many companies, and they try to minimize the operation cost. So how can they do that? They try to empower the AI in their company. So the AI can help to achieve the following task. First of all is the candidate screening. Learn to shortlist your ideal candidate. We have thousands of candidates, thousands of applicants. How can we minimize them? How can we filter them? So the AI can do a great job in such a task. Also, candidate onboarding. So once we hire a person, and this person needs to get familiar with the company. So how can we make him get familiar fast so he can contribute positively to the company? So this is called onboarding. Okay, onboarding. So also we have learning and training programs. So how can we customize the learning and training program for each employee so he can improve faster and contribute to his department. So those three, we are going to details each one of them. So for the candidate screening, as you can see, in the traditional method, we consume a large amount of time, okay, in filtration of candidates. So it takes a huge amount of time to do filtration, okay? And sometimes is because, like for one opening, you get 3,000 applicants. So how can you deal with such a challenge? Also the analyzation, whether the candidate fit to the right job or not. So we need to make sure the right person goes to the right position. If you bring wrong person to the right to the right position, it's gonna cost the company a lot. Okay, and then this guy, he will not fit with this job. He may quit anytime, and the company will also try to find another one. So this is time consuming, and also it's cost a lot of money. So how can we make sure this done with a high quality? Okay, and this is can be helped by the AI. So the AI decreases the needed time to accomplish the following tasks: examining candidate, we can assign them different exams, or it can be yes, it can be we can ask them different questions so they can answer it by by text, or also they we can have a real time interview can be done by the AI, and they can ask them a different question and get their answer and rank them based on their quality of answer. Okay, so also scheduling interviews. So it takes a lot of time to find the best time for the candidate and the person who gonna call and make interview. So it takes time to do scheduling. So how can this be done by the use of the use of AI? Also answering applicant question. So we always, the applicant, they have different questions. They want to ask about the job, the position of the job, and the name of the position, and what the task they should do. So all of this repetitive question, it's time consuming question. So how can we build maybe a chatbot that is able to answer such like redundant question? Okay, all of this can be done under the AI solution. So this is for the candidate screening. So the goal here is to examine the candidate, schedule the interview, answer their question, and find the appropriate person to the right job. Okay, so this is gonna minimize a lot of cost. So AI can help also to reduce the needed effort and time. So make HR employee focus on other job. So like some people, they are feel fair about the AI. It's gonna take some people job, and this is actually is not so this is not real, because we are going to change the job type. Okay, so instead of making 10 people, they are trying to do online or candidate screening, we can build software like he can he can do or has high performance like what they already usually do, those people. So and also we can take benefit of those people to work on other tasks that the AI cannot do. Okay, like for example, try to find it, like try to they try to find different tasks, and they are trying to find, for example, the best program for their employee. They try to build a very strong program to do the job description, and they try to train and develop the employee, try to check out, try to meet with the employees and improve their performances. So there are different tasks they can go or they can transfer to it. So and this is going to save a lot of effort and time, and by the end it's going to improve the quality of the HR department. Okay, also candidate onboarding. The onboarding is the process of integrating a new employee with the company and its culture. Okay, each company, they have their own culture. How can the employee start to understand that culture, try to get an idea about what they should do, what they should not. And this is a process. Sometimes it takes time for employee uh, to know exactly what he should do. So this is called onboarding. So the AI also can have a customized program for each employee, so they can work him step by step and make sure he will follow all or he complete all the tasks, and and his performance can be reported to his manager, or and and can be and he also by later on can be get easily evaluated. An AI system also can provide the following information for a new employee, answering different frequent questions using a chatbot or callbot, also explaining the job profile, duties, and benefits, providing important contact details within the company and information team member, also verifying the legal document. So if you have a legal document, and you want to sign it, it can be signed and verified easily. Also showing the details of job profile of the company politics, also explaining the task assignment. Okay, so this is all of this task can be done by the AI under the candidate onboarding. Also, learning and training programs. Also, the AI development service can help the employee to learn and train themselves by, as we said, about the relevant position and requirement. We can set up the specific program. They can learn and develop full time. Also gain knowledge about the ongoing technology and software development in the market to stay up to date. Also understand, assign suitable training to the employee based on their job description for better development. Also analyze the employee performance data and inform the HR team about the needed training and the reward for the next year. So basically, the onboarding, the one we explained before, it means like once we have a new employee, we need some time. Like this time is just to he knows all the basic things, so he can start. Once he starts, we go to the learning and training program. So it's gonna stick with him until like it doesn't until leave the company. Okay, we try that each employee, even the director, even the manager, even the CEO, they have to go through some development, some training program, and this is to keep the company improving and the company PR, like all the technology that used in the company has to be up to date. Okay, so this is the three tasks that we discussed. This is mainly the AI can build or can have a large contribution in such area. So the intelligent AI based strategy will improve the working and minds of the employee as well as train them faster and better. Okay, so what are the key benefits of the AI? So there are key benefits. We are trying to achieve the significant time saving, as we discussed before. So also the better hiring quality. So we are going to filter the CVs, filter based on specific, because each candidate, they have specific skills and a specific, we have certificates, specific technical skills, personal skills, and also some education. So and also we have the job description. So how can we fit those job description to the right candidate? So we are trying to see all the, so we try to see all the candidate, all the CVs. We try to extract the text using the NLP, the natural language processing, and try to put, so those words, it's become a feature into our model. And based on that feature, we are going to rank them based on the job description, make sure number one is the best fit for that description. Number two is the second best. So we are ranking to the best, the top 5. We ask them for interview. They come to the interview, ask them, make sure maybe the second one, after the interview, we see him is the best candidate. Not sure, maybe the first one. But at least we make sure those is going to be the best 5 candidate out of the thousands of applicants. Okay, this can be done by the power of AI. Okay, also increase the candidate satisfaction. So this one can be done easily and timely or in a fast time. So the company will be satisfied to fill that opening, and also the candidate will be satisfied. So some interviews takes maybe it's 1 month, 2 months to until the offer until they receive an offer. So it's time consuming. The applicant become unsatisfied, and this is affect the company reputation. Also, the automation of the hiring process. So all of this can be the AI help towards the automation. So once we have automation, can affect the quality of the company. Also, optimizing of the hiring process. Once we were trying to do optimization, the model is based on optimizing model or optimization. We try to find the best solution for or the best candidate for that job description. Also, the cost-effective hiring. So because you're gonna pay one time for that software and done, and you don't need to hire many employees and you're gonna to do the same task. So this is the key benefit of the AI. Also, there are some challenging of applying AI under the recruitment process. We need first more data, meaning that AI needs a large amount of data to learn and build feature to forecast and identify certain pattern in the data. So we need such data to build the model. So basically, if you don't have data, you cannot build model. So it's very important to gain or to collect such data, and the data is you need like enough sufficient data to build the model. Okay, if you have not sufficient data, your model accuracy will be negative. Okay, this is more data, so the HR need to provide that data to build the model. Okay, and also the possibility for bias. What do you mean bias? This is one of the challenges of applying AI for the recruitment process. The AI learn on past data. Past data consists of set of human behavior. Okay, for example, sometimes you collect data and you fit it to the model, and the data itself, they have they are not unbiased data, it's biased data, meaning that most of them they are men, not women. Okay, so the model will always select the men for the job interview. Okay, meaning that because the data that you provided to the model, you put the gender, and he will put it into account in the model. Okay, this same example can be applied with the skin color. If you provide data and you didn't realize they are all of them is white people. Okay, so and the color can be a feature in the model, then it will be so the model will be biased and always select the white people. Okay, also specific nationality. If you use the nationality, so and the model so you need to decide which feature you need to fit it to the model. Okay, what type of data you need to collect from the beginning? Is that equality? So we need to make sure do a quality assurance for your data. So to make sure the data that fit to the model is clean, it has high quality data, and so the model can be built with a strong prediction. Okay, so also some use cases of the application of the AI. So we can do automated screening. As you can see, the automating, so there are now applications, they do automated screening now existing with the startup company, automating automating resume screening by using AI, machine learning on existing resume database. Okay, and also the chatbot services provide a real-time interaction to candidate by asking questions based on the job requirement. So they are asked by the chatbot, and based on their answer, they are going to evaluate it. Okay, also digitalized interview, assessing a candidate, word choice, speech pattern, facial recognition expression. So now they are trying to use the interview, and based on your facial, the way you react to the interview, it can be evaluated also. Also the CV upload automatically converting the job description into text, and the applicant resume file into searchable data. So we are trying to extract the data from the CVs in a format that can be fit to the model. So also, as we can see, the automated screening allow you to set a target and search for candidates who match your objective. the chatbot add more information in resume and talk to candidate, okay, answering their basic question and analyzing their responses using NLP. Also digitalized interview capable of contacting applicants, storing and analyzing interaction with each applicant. Also the CV upload help recruiter improve their job posting, making it easier to differentiate candidates. So also the way you define the job description is important. So you can know how the AI works, and based on that you can know how which things is very important, can help later on. So this is like job. So the job description is a part of the data. So whenever they try to build or design the job description, they need to set up with the data scientist who can help them which data they are need to build the model. So it's teamwork. So they have to work together in order to improve the quality of work. So in conclusion, so AI aims at eliminating mundane work, the repetitive work, the redundant work, and freeing the recruiter to focus on other tasks. Also, the AI totally changed the workflow structure in the HR department, is a breakthrough in that field. Also, the HR management based on AI can achieve a more sustainable and smarter environment and improve the skill set of a new and existing employees. Also, the AI will allow better monitoring and assessment for HR performance. Once we get the data, all this data can be reported to the manager and director, and based on that can be linked to the KPIs of the company. Also, the automation of process, the AI lead to the automation, which is a very important step through the digital transformation for any entities and government or companies or organization, due to the AI ability to analyze big data and quickly provide data-driven decision and insight. So the AI later at the end will provide us with some insight, some decision or data-driven decision, which can help us to improve the quality of a recruitment process and also the performance of human resources department. Okay, thank you very much for listening. And if you have a question, please let me know.